are hard numbers, Richard.
The department's fat.
Some places, maybe.
Across the board. I need your support on this. I want old-fashioned cops doing an old-fashioned job, you know? Tough, honest, but fair. I mean, there's no need to spend millions more each year if we can just motivate.
You've decided to run.
Well, maybe. But just county supervisor, not mayor. This is a tricky time for South Florida, Marty. It's a tricky time for us. So don't start with me about these cuts being political. We're just not lean and mean anymore. These cuts will do the department good.
Freeze! Miami Vice!
Vice of Miami podcast, season 5, we're back at last. With Mark and Tim on the mic, they're bringing heat, they're bringing hype. Guest stars going through, oh what a ride. Deep dives in music, let the rhythm guide.
Welcome to the Vice of Miami podcast. I'm your host, Mark, alongside my co-host, Tim, and we are both thrilled to take you on a journey through the iconic 80s TV shows Miami Vice. Each episode, we delve into the gripping world of Detective Sonny Crockett and Rico Tubbs and the entire Vice team, reviewing every episode and uncovering the dark storylines, unforgettable guest stars, and the electrifying music that turned Miami Vice into a cult classic. From trivia and fun facts to the occasional goof, we're here to provide a fresh and engaging perspective, whether you're a longtime fan or new to the series. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and join us on show number 111, triple ones, as we explore season 5, episode 15, Over the Line.
And Mark, this episode was written by Robert Ward and Scott Shepard and a teleplay by Terry McDonald. It was directed by Russ Mayberry. The original air date was April 28th, 1989, and it is the 105th episode overall in the series, with a production code of 63918-16. And our plot: a team of vigilante police officers attempt to recruit Crockett and Tubbs to their cause.
Hey, let's check out the guest stars and the co-stars. But first, let's focus on one thing, Vice, really quick. That thing is Tim Truman. Yes, the Miami Vice Tim Truman, not Timothy Truman, the story writer and comic book writer, as a lot of people confuse him with. As you know, Tim Truman took over for Jan Hammer in this season. Truman's first work was scoring a single episode of the famed television series in 1984, and he subsequently composed a soundtrack to Michael Mann's made-for-TV movie LA Takedown, later remade by the director as Heat, featuring Xander Berkeley, Martin Ferrero, and Mykelti Williamson. Those names sound familiar, especially
yes,
Martin.
They do.
And Mann remembered Truman when Jan Hammer left his position as the main composer for Miami Vice, so he gave him a jingle. Truman's background music is heavily rock-based, with extensive use of electronic guitars, drums, and with noticeably colder-sounding synthesizer harmonies, which I picked up right away, giving the show's score pretty much a darker, menacing feel versus the iconic Vice or Miami type, bubbly, I guess you could say, of Jan Hammer. And that quality is often said to fit well with the bleak tone of season 5. Well, yeah, that's pretty much dead on. So following the cancellation of Miami Vice, Truman continued then to record music for television, composing scores for both television series and made-for-TV movies, including a stint on the supernatural drama Charmed, and as lead composer for the series Melrose Place, Providence, and Jeremiah. He currently actually lives in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and was an instructor at the Pennsylvania College of Art and Design from 2003 to 2006. So let's actually go over our guest stars now. We've got Tomas Arana as Walter Stevens, Robert Fields as Metro Dade Captain Richard Highsmith, Putz, Anthony Barril as Johnny, John Galetio as Reginald Hawkins, and Martin Ferrero returns finally. Thank God, he's been gone for a long time. He comes back in this episode.
And Mark, our co-stars are Ed Amatrudo as Tommy T, Sean Burke and Tony Villa as policeman, Carol Cadby as a housewife, Kevin Corrigan as Jameson, Ruth Geyer Price as Beauty, Marlon E. Hoffman as Street Tough, Nelson Oramas as Escalante, and Kevin Quigley as a geek.
Tim, what do you got for the news?
In the Miami Vice in the news, we have actor Tomas Arano, who was Walter Stevens, is currently filming the movie The Last Resort that is set for a 2026 release. All right, we're going to begin our discussion of Over the Line. And it starts with a Miami Vice stakeout. It's sunrise. There's that neon heat. And Crockett and Tubbs tail a drug dealer for meat. And it's Tommy T and a guy by the name of Mono, or at least it might have been a nickname, cutting a deal. Some suits glide in for the bust. Boom, ice cream truck rolls through. Warning bells, bad timing, dealers scatter. Tubbs then tangles with the driver. He climbs onto this ice cream truck, and then he gets dumped off, eats the pavement. The truck disappears, and so does the case. And when we talk about warning bells, this guy in the ice cream truck just got on their loudspeaker, just yammering, saying, "You got the heat in there, you got the heat in there." So that's what that's all about.
Do you ever remember do you ever see the movie Attack of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Late 80s.
No, I remember the B movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which was really bad.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's who it was. And that movie had these two dorky guys who were, I guess their summer job was driving an ice cream truck around. Mm-hmm. But they would do the same thing. They would get on their little PA and they would just pretty much talk up the ice cream, not really, busting anybody. But as soon as this dude started yammering on the PA, I'm like, oh my God, this is so close. So people, if you've ever seen a movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. And this Tommy T guy, is he a stand-in for Barry Gibb? Because he had this thick nest of real dark chest hair and a nice gold chain hanging down. I'm like, that's got to be Barry Gibb.
Staying alive.
Yeah.
Staying alive.
And also, when Tubbs jumped on the truck, I knew right away this was not Tubbs, because this dude was more, he wasn't fat, but he was definitely thicker. He was definitely thicker than Tubbs, but as soon as you could see it, you could tell. But anyway, moving on, we're at a poolside breakfast, and it meets cold math. What does that mean? Well, we've got a Captain Highsmith. He's briefing Marty on budget cuts. Oh, wonderful. No more freebies, I guess, for the Vice team, which means more street work, less desk work, and even Highsmith says, even for me, I'm going to get out on the streets. But Marty's like, we got a lot of work to do. Marty fires back. Drug wars aren't won with press releases. And this guy, I had him pegged right away. Another political getting in the way of Vice, saying, cut money, cut your funds or whatever. Otherwise, I'm going to look, you're going to make me look bad if you want more money. And even Marty's like, oh, you're running, huh? Go figure. But Tim, I've got this guy, this chump ass pegged as a weasel, and we'll definitely find out
Chump
very quickly. Right. So anyway, at OCB, Crockett pretty much smells a rat. Who tipped off this Dr. Dinky, this ice cream dude? Who tipped him off? And who is Tommy T really working for? So they're bouncing all these ideas back and forth. And then Marty brings in the budget news. And then rises the tension amongst the team. Go figure. Marty promises it's not going to break them, but he definitely sounds less sure than usual. And I think it was Crockett saying, "Hey, don't $10 buy money isn't going to cut it, right?" So because
Yes,
pretty much
that's
just
correct.
like, do your job with less. So
Do more with less.
do more with less. Team ain't happy. Team ain't happy.
So now we come to the first of major comedy for us in a long time. Izzy is back, and he's hustling some sunscreen to a couple of rich women. Crockett and Tubbs come in, they crash the party, and they're basically no more scams. That's enough of this, Izzy. They pull him aside. They basically put the kibosh on his deal with these ladies, and they want him to give up Tommy T, or else, just their usual.
Or else.
You don't do this, Izzy, you're going to go to the pokey. So Izzy just sings like a canary. He says Dr. Dinky's connected, and that Tommy T works for somebody by the name of Reginald Hawkins, or as I call him, Reggie Hawkins, who is a New York dealer, and Tubbs knows the name. He knew him from his days at NYPD.
He's got some history, but I'm thinking, what kind of place is this? I mean, the pool was empty. I mean, Izzy's walking in. You can definitely tell the pool's empty. He's walking it. You got all these old geezers laying down. But Izzy being Izzy, he sees a opportunity knocks, right? An opportunity knocks. Yeah, I get the epidermal cortex. And if you pick up quickly, you could even read the script. I'm sure it was intentional. Turn page.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, Tim, but did it sound like he was calling it rectal gel? Rectagel. Like
something like that.
Skin cream, and you're calling it rectum gel. Anyway.
I think it was supposed to be
Ladies.
sunscreen.
What are you
Yes.
doing to your poor bodies?
Get lost.
You are ruining your skins. The ultra neon rays are destroying the epidermal cortex as we speak. I beg you to cease before it is too late.
Epidermal what?
The epidermal cortex, the layer of skin that produces the vital bodily oils to ensure youthful appearance. Open the soup.
Open the suitcase.
I beg you, if you're going to expose yourselves in this way, use this.
Reptigel?
Reptagel, the secret lotion developed by the Aztecs Indians over 500 years ago.
What's in it?
Let me put it this way. Have you ever seen a sunburned snake?
Yeah, I'm looking at one.
Classic Izzy. Sunburned snake.
What did he say? The ultra what of the sun?
Oh, I couldn't
And
understand.
not ultraviolet rays, but ultra something. He's out
I
there.
thought he was saying rectum gel. Okay.
But I did hear where he said in there, open the suitcase. So he was reading the script. It appears to be like at a restaurant, and you have Crockett and Tubbs and their pastel sharp smiles, and they meet with Reginald Hawkins at a restaurant. He basically is blowing off until Crockett dangles big money and a tight deadline. I need 40. If you're going to deal with me, it better be in the next 48 hours. So now ego gets the best of Reggie, but one of his Goombas interrupts him, pulls him to the side, and then Reggie comes back, and he's much colder, much cooler to Crockett and Tubbs. But they were not Crockett and Tubbs. They were Burnett and Cooper. The word is that they ripped off some of his friends. That's it for the conversation. So now as Crockett and Tubbs are walking outside, Crockett thinks Reggie clocked them as cops, that he knows who they are. Before Tubbs can argue, black limos and men in dark suits come and take them away, swoop them up.
But I think, if I remember correctly, this guy already was kind of cold from the get-go because they said, hey, we're on a
Yes.
deadline. And this guy said something like, people who are on deadlines, I don't do business with, or something like that.
Right. He doesn't
Well, then
do
nothing
biz
but
with him
trouble.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've got a good story unfolding. So now we're in some backlit room somewhere, and you've got the interrogation lights kind of on. Crockett and Tubbs are sitting in a chair. I don't know. I don't think they were handcuffed. They were just sitting there. Right?
No.
No. So anyway, you hear a voice in the dark. Someone's been watching Crockett and Tubbs and how they're playing, and they like what they see. This guy claims he's a cop, tired of crooks, skating free, getting away with this, getting away with that, and he wants justice, albeit enhanced. Crockett says, hey, that's vigilantism. That's a game we ain't going to play. So this guy has this pitch. Get intel, practice patience, and it's going to be perfect timing. Tubbs here connects the dots that the ice cream truck was theirs. Their names pretty much stay secret, and then these threats fade into darkness. And I'm thinking all along, okay, they say they're cops, and haven't we seen this part before? Feds or other cops are sick of the bad guys getting away with it. So now they're going to be, like Crockett said, vigilantes. I think this scene went kind of too long for the point of, hey, let's work together. I mean,
Right. Yes. Because he ran down 3 or 4 different criminals that basically walk because they feel the criminal justice system is for the criminals.
Right. Exactly. Sounds like a certain county in a certain city.
So now we're at what appeared to be an oceanside driving range. I don't know if he's just hitting on the sand. Couldn't really gather that, but Reggie Hawkins meets with Panamanian dealer Victor Escalante. And Victor says cash is not going to cut it if you want to make a deal. He wants guns and C4 for the revolutionaries in his country. Reggie promises delivery in 48 hours, and it's going to be Johnny, one of his sidekicks, and Mono who are going to steal it for him.
They quote unquote volunteered for it, didn't they?
That's correct. They volunteered for it.
I think Johnny had that look on his face like, okay, type of thing. So yeah, they were volunteering.
Yeah, how are you gonna deliver on what you don't have? Right, that's what he was saying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now we're at a hotel somewhere, and this mystery man calls. Time for the demo. Crockett and Tubbs play along, and then we got a limo ride along the waterfront. So they're watching out of this limo. Reggie's crew raiding a secure cache, some like little warehouse, waterside warehouse thing. They break in. I think they got the security guard handcuffed to the bars on the window. They're taking cases of guns and a couple of bags of guns. Clean escape on a boat. They pull up on a boat, break in, dump the stuff, get off on the boat. Crockett and Tubbs here are ordered not to intervene. Just watch what's going on. So this shadow boss here, he explains, guns buy twice the profit for Escalante. And this dude finally shows his face. It's Sergeant Walter Stevens, a statistical analysis dude. He's sidelined, but he's bitter and dangerous. He, like he was saying, all these scumbags keep getting away with this stuff, but he's kind of forced to sit on his hands type of thing. But he's taking matters into his old hands.
Right. And if you remember, he didn't reveal himself until Crockett and Tubbs agreed to work with him, because otherwise he said, we're going to just drop you off on a street and you could go on your way. I don't know how that would have really worked out because, right. But they had a organization that's well-oiled machine, so it'd be hard for Crockett and Tubbs to root it out.
Yep. So it was, no half-assing. You're in or you're out. Crockett and Tubbs, they step in.
So now we have Crockett and Tubbs meeting Marty at, it was near a Miami water tower, but, basically waterside. And the only reason that Marty wanted to meet outside is because OCB was being swept for bugs. Marty's worried about this. He thinks that somebody could get hurt real bad. He says something isn't right here. Crockett and Tubbs say they're in deep. They've rooted themselves in this organization, and Marty orders them to dive in a little bit deeper. Just don't get yourselves killed. Don't get dead.
Simple plan, right? Don't get killed. Simple plan.
Damn, Marty, you always bring me to the nicest joints.
This is the only safe place we can talk. I'm having our offices swept this afternoon.
The problem is, Lieutenant, we could take them now. But if we do,
Yeah, if we do, we don't get them all.
I'm really afraid of this one. Someone could really get hurt.
Yeah, but if we don't move, we'll be doing exactly what they're doing. Then we do that all the time, don't we? It's just on a smaller scale, so we don't think about it.
you're right. We let people get away with little things as long as it serves our purpose. Like with Izzy. We wink at his little scam as long as we can trade him in for something bigger.
Yeah, but it's always a matter of degree.
So how do we play it, Lieutenant?
I always felt that there was a line that's never stepped over.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, that line's getting damn hard to see, even when you're looking for it. What do you want to do, Marty?
We'd have to try to get them all. Try to get inside as far as you can. Don't let anyone get hurt.
So
Don't
now
get
we're
killed.
at what we're going to call it the Rogue headquarters, the Rogue cop headquarters. Johnny, who's undercover with Reggie, he's pretty much rattled. He's like, I know what's going on. I'm part of it, but I kind of want out type of thing. You can definitely tell he's not into it. He wants Hawkins busted now. And then Steven says, no, wait, chill out, just wait. Crockett hears well. He argues they'll lose Escalante, who's a mass killer. And one of them bring up the line. Johnny said it, not too late to do it by the book. Where have we heard that before?
We heard that
Is
in
it,
first,
season one,
probably.
episode 1?
That's right. Probably within the first
least.
10 minutes of that episode.
Yeah.
By the book, Sonny.
By the book. Even
Rodriguez.
Johnny's like, right, by the book. So anyway, Johnny here confides in Tubbs on, his partner died, the killer walked, and how Stevens taught him how to plant evidence. Pretty much justice, dirty style. Tubbs tells him there are no bad cops, just cops who have seen too much. Stevens, meanwhile, is telling Crockett his story. Shot in the head, buried behind a desk, written off. Now he recruits people like Crockett and Tubbs from personnel files. Real power, real justice. And Crockett's playing along. He pretends to buy in.
And now we're at a stakeout. And this is where Hawkins finalizes the C4 deal. 2 uniformed cops are canvassing for Highsmith. Knock on the wrong door. We're doing this in uniform on company time? A la
Arnie from
Chicago.
there.
So now there's a little bit of a panic. When these guys come, they first started with some housewife. She ends up signing it. And then everybody's panicking. They look out the window. Hawkins opens fire, but Johnny tried to plead with him. This is not a bust. But all hell broke loose. You got 1 cop dead, 1 dying. Everybody scattered. Crockett is in a car with Stevens and wants to call an ambulance, but Stevens says no because it'll trace back to us. They're basically just collateral damage, but Crockett still insists and he calls it in as a civilian.
Stevens here, he's drooling, right? That this C4 is good to play for later on. As soon as he saw it, he's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, OCB is swarming the scene here. Marty knows that they're going to get Hawkins tonight, but he won't bring the cops back as he gives Stans one of his classic stares.
That was great.
Marty knows what's up, but he's got to, I don't want to say he's playing the game, but he's got to see where stuff leads, I guess, cop-wise. Highsmith arrives. Marty gives him the lowdown on the cop shootings, and Highsmith, I demand answers. And Marty promises arrests before dawn.
Mark, what the hell's going on here?
Plastique's by 2 off-duty officers stumbled in on it. One's dead, the other one's in critical condition.
Oh, God. Can we make an arrest?
We have a problem.
Well, that's for damn sure.
It's internal. Bad cops.
How long have you known?
Too long. You mean you let this happen? Had a choice to make and I made it.
Oh, it's a damn lousy choice, Marty. All right, Marty, what's your next move?
It comes down tonight. We take them all.
Oh, you better take him. And I want to know who's involved and how down to the last person. Straight? Right?
Yeah, we're going to find out this guy's a putz.
Mm-hmm. So now back at the Rogue Cop HQ, Johnny's like, I'm done here, and he quits. He says, I'm not killing any more innocent people. It really hit him hard with the cop dying, and I don't know if both of them did. I know one was in critical condition, but it was probably too close for comfort for him when his partner died 6 months out of the academy or whatever it was.
And now he's seeing more.
So now Steven's, all right, you're out, or he lets him walk. And then he starts talking with Crockett. You see Johnny driving away, and he has him silenced. He has him killed. Gunshot echoes. Crockett hears it. He knows what happened.
Mm-hmm. And right away, as soon as Steven's talking to Crockett, he starts explaining stuff to what how he does stuff, and it's just more like lame-ass excuses. I'm doing this because of this, and we've heard this before. We've seen this story before. So we're at Escalante's house now, the final night, pretty much arms for drugs. Everyone converges. Marty moves in. Crockett and Tubbs flip. They flip their guns on Steven's crew until the sheriffs arrive. I think they're walking through the woods here a little bit, and pretty much chaos erupts. Crockett here is chasing Stevens and finds him packing drugs and guns along with the C4, which funds his Shadow Empire. It's like a little, I guess, porte cochere, like a little open garage type thing where he's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And Crockett nabs him, trying to make the arrest, and Highsmith steps in. Stevens here is talking too much about higher ups. And then, boop, Highsmith caps him one, shooting him in, quote, self-defense for Crockett. He had you at gunpoint. Crockett's like, what are you doing? Too late. And right away, I knew this D-bag was a higher up, and I had him pegged as he knew what was going on all along. Tim, we want to close us out?
Yes, we will. And I believe Crockett was on a St. Vitus dance, and he's watching Highsmith on TV for Meet the Candidate for him. And he's basically claiming credit that he's tough on crime. Whatever it takes, he's going to end the drug wars. Crockett clicks the TV off, and he goes, whatever it takes. So we'll wait till our comments, and I'll ask you something.
Citizens of Miami know I am not soft on crime. As a matter of fact, earlier this evening, I personally conducted an operation which resulted in the confiscation of at least $500,000 worth of illegal drugs and up to an equal amount in illegal weapons. But much more importantly, I've taken off the street for good those people responsible for the death of a 15-year police veteran. Now, I cannot give you more details at this point in time because of ongoing operations, but I can assure every man, woman, and child in Dade County that I will continue to do whatever has to be done to put an end to this scourge of drugs. Thank you.
Whatever it takes.
Tim, anytime a politician wannabe speaks, smells like crap coming out their mouth, don't it?
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Rating for this episode, IMDb gives us a pretty good 7.4. Tim, what do you think?
And Mark, I definitely agree with the rating on this episode. Here we have a group of vigilante cops who are taking matters into their own hands because they believe the criminal justice system is for the criminals. Crockett and Tubbs joined this crew as a way to take them down. I knew that Highsmith was one of the upper echelon cops who were part of this organization. I made that connection later on, but thinking back to his discussion with Marty about no more desk jobs, even for himself, who needed to get on the streets to fight the drug wars. Now, Miami Vice Wiki related this episode to a Dirty Harry movie, and in this case, it was Magnum Force, which featured vigilante cops. Crockett's at the end of the episode reminded me of Dirty Harry confronting the rogue cops. When in a scene, it was like in a parking garage or somewhere like that. And he says to them, "You heroes have killed a dozen people this week. What are you going to do next week?" And David Soul's character replies, "Kill a dozen more." Great episode that is helping season 5 finish on a strong note.
And Tim, here's a quick clip of that scene you're talking about.
You heroes have killed a dozen people this week. What are you going to do next week? Kill a dozen more? Is that what you guys are all about? Being heroes?
All our heroes are dead. We're the first generation that's learned to fight.
I got to look for that on Netflix. It looks like a good movie. So I like this episode. It was a good
You've never seen that?
Never seen Magnum Force. Nope. I just looked it up on Google.
I have the box set of the Dirty Harrys. So
or if Netflix does. Anyway, very good episode, Tim. You got the Vice team doing what it does best. Pretty much sticking together and kicking ass. Even though Crockett and Tubbs kind of here took center stage and going deep with the rogue cops, playing along, playing their game. Castillo kind of, essentially, I guess you could say, was calling the shots, even in a budget crunch, because he knew what had to be done and how to get it done. He even got that quick stare to Switek at the cop killing scene there. And we also have very limited roles for Gina and Trudy. I think the past couple episodes are like non-existent.
That's correct. Right? Yes.
Yeah, so we'll see what the last few pull out. But anyway, it was just another scumbag politician who wanted to be at any cost, even selling those that bust ass short. Those that who know what's going on, who are doing the work. I'm taking credit. See what I did? Blah, 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 blah. Turds plopping out of your mouth. Like I said, I had it pegged from the get-go with the meal with Castillo in the beginning. Never a good sign when that happens. Never. But like I said before, did we see this rogue cop stories before in Miami Vice? So
yeah, there was one that I thought back to was the one with Lou Diamond Phillips, and I looked it up again. It was Red Tape, where they thought there was a leak within a department, and Tubbs had to go insert himself in his stuff. It was it wasn't exactly like this, but there was bad cop. It was a bad cop story. Yes,
exactly.
Quite a few of them.
Right. Again, same kind of stories-ish, kind of, sort of. But still, this one is good. I definitely liked it. Maybe a 7.8 in my opinion, but good one.
It was a good one.
All right, covering the music for this episode, we only got one. That's I'm Life by The Fix. And that's when Hawkins and the Escalante deal are happening and the shootout.
And then for Tim Truman music, we have Over the Line 2, which was throughout the episode.
All right, checking out the Goofs, Fun Facts, and locations. We got our first location, the Fairmont Gardens Restaurant, 1000 Collins Avenue in Miami Beach. And that's the Lunch with Castillo in Highsmith.
And Mark, we have a goof here. When Crockett and Tubbs are speaking with Izzy at the water park, the woman sunbathing on the top of the diving platform disappears and reappears. Woo!
It's magic. Maybe she applied the Recta gel too much.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got a location, Northeast 81st Street, Canal Bridge. That's where Crockett and Tubbs meet Castillo outside the office next to the water tower.
And Mark, we do have one fun fact here. In the opening sequence, Tubbs is not behind the wheel of his usual light blue DeVille, but rather a black Chevy Impala convertible. The reason for this is not explained, is not known if the viewer is supposed to notice it's a different car.
right, checking out the trivia. Last episode, we asked in the opening scene, Tubbs is scanning the area through binoculars, and when he stops panning on either side of the building or the freighter, there was a name of a company on a sign. What was the name of the company? And that was the South Florida Fish Company. Tim, what's our question for this episode?
For this episode, what's the name of the cleaners when Crockett and Tubbs are riding in a limo about halfway in? You can post your answers on this episode's Facebook post, or you can email us at miamivice@duck.com.
Okay, we are at Mindful Music, where we like to share a quick clip of a song that we will send some peaceful or inspiring vibes your way. With the show, as well as our own lives, we may have many issues or stressful times that we encounter. And with these song choices, we can hopefully quiet the mind and make those issues less of an obstacle for your day. And since we're recording this on a Sunday, the Sunday before New Year's Eve, and then you're going to hear this the Monday after, Tim and I want to once again extend our best wishes and hopes for everyone in the coming year, 2026. Oh my gosh, how are we here? We'd like you to remember what we had and lost, and keep that as a catalyst for change and improvement in the next year. So, Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes,
Tim,
Happy New Year.
Yep. So, with those wishes, I chose the usual one, Auld Lang Syne, most specifically from It's a Wonderful Life, which is pretty much my favorite version of it.
That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right.
Attaboy, Clarence.
Attaboy, Clarence.
I bust open a jukebox. I've been saving
Attaboy,
this money for a divorce. I've been saving this money for a divorce, even I get a husband.
All right. Thanks to all of you for tuning into the Vice Miami podcast. We hope you enjoyed our look into the world of Miami Vice. If you love what you heard, please leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps us out. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and more Miami Vice goodness. You can hear us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at the Vice of Miami Podcast. And call into our Vice of Miami Podcast fan hotline at 815-242-2151. Again, that's 815-242-2151. And leave us a message. And here is a recent message from a listener.
Hello, Mark. Hello, Tim. I gotta say, I love your voicemail. It very much reminds me of recording voicemails in my car with the radio blaring. This is exactly what I needed. Just wanted to say hi, keep killing it, and have a great holiday season. See you guys soon. It's Marina from Vice and Easy, calling from not the most glamorous hotel in San Diego, but at least something fun. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.
Not the most glamorous hotel. Those are in Miami. Those are in Miami. The seedy ones that someone's selling Rectagel out of. Thank you, Marina. Close us out, Tim.
Okay. Our next episode is number 112, which covers episode 16, Victims of Circumstance. After that, we will be doing the lost extra episodes before we do the series finale, free fall. So stay stylish and keep the vice alive. Now,
Diane is the whole damn case, pal.